Oh yeah, it's time for 3 Bourne movies, 1 review. Let's go. What's going on, people? It's your boy Brass Tax in this bitch. I was initially going to upload them separately, but I figured I'm not really going to talk about the movies because these movies have been around for a while and you guys already done seen that shit. I know there's Bourne Legacy. I haven't had a chance to review Bourne Legacy purely because I'm still waiting for that mofo to turn up in this bitch. All I will say is the Bourne movies at their time were awesome because they were coming out. The first Bourne Identity movie came out at a stage where pretty much everyone was just bored as hell of James Bond. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I'm sure it was after Die Another Day, Pierce Brosnan. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was a guilty pleasure. As unrealistic as that mofo was, god damn, I actually enjoyed it, yeah? Madonna had no business being in that bitch at all, but what can you do? Yeah, so it came out at a time where I think the James Bond movies were getting stale and they were getting predictable and they were getting a bit far-fetched. This was like a James Bond-esque thriller which had a real sense of realism to it. And I think actually they spurred on the new Bond movies that you see now. Bourne Identity was good. I liked Bourne Supremacy too. Bourne Ultimatum was good. I think I liked Bourne Supremacy the most. I think that was my favourite one. Let's talk about the transfers. Bourne Identity, shot in 35. Visual effects rendered at 2K. Digital intermediate, 4K. DTS:X master audio in this bitch. Fellas, ladies, you ever had it back in the day when you were young and you got your boyfriend, you got your girlfriend in your room with you, yeah? Your parents are out, like you come back from school early maybe, you know, and you're getting freaky and you're having a great time and you're like, oh my God, this is the day I'm gonna get my shit. This is the one. Yeah, and all of a sudden, you hear the keys in the door, you hear your mum coming in, and then you gotta stop everything. That shit disappointing like a mofo, isn't it? Well, guess what? That's how this transfer is right here. God damn. Do you remember my review of Salt? It was no different than the Blu-ray. The only thing different from the Blu-ray here is probably the color, the wider color space. It definitely has a wider color space. But I gave 2 fucks about it, to be honest. I was watching this, I'm thinking, shit, this looks no better than an upscale Blu-ray, at best. Seriously, I couldn't even tell whether there was perhaps added detail. I mean, it was clearer, okay? It was clearer, but it was 1 pubic hair better. Maybe 2 pubic hairs better than the 1080p Blu-ray. I'm gonna keep it so real with you guys. The film was also soft. I was expecting a little bit of sharpness, if nothing else. And guys, this is a 4K digital intermediate. Do you know what I'm saying? It was shot in 35, goddammit. I don't know what the fuck going on. This movie has not aged well at all, right? That's one. Number 2, it's not much of an improvement at all either. The saving grace for me while I was watching this movie at the beginning was, do you know what? Thank God there's no special effects. Because by the rate this movie is, if you start seeing special effects in this bitch, it's gonna look abysmal in this bitch. Was it a first fight where the guy gets thrown out of a window? Some bullshit, someone gets thrown out of a window. I can't remember properly because I've watched so many of them. But dude gets thrown out of a window, right? That has to be the fakest shit ever. I'm sure I watched it on DVD and Blu-ray, and it didn't stand out as much. This shit looked terrible in 4K. If you pay full price for this movie, you better unsubscribe right now. Seriously, wait for it to drop in price. I mean, I know I normally say with movies that are kind of mediocre transfer-wise that, you know, you might want to wait for the price to drop when it's free or steal that bitch. Very disappointed. That's all I'm really going to say about it. On to the next one. Bourne Supremacy. Shot in 35. Visual effects 2K. Digital intermediate 2K. Upscale to 4K. DTS:X master audio. Okay, this one, although it's a 2K digital intermediate, it's a slightly better upgrade. You notice a few more things. Yes, it's the best version of the film there is, although it's not going to blow you away. But you do notice more detail. The HDR does a pretty good job in the light scenes. In the dark scenes, it suffers because there is a bit of crush. It should look better than it does, to be honest. There is a slight increase in depth. This is maybe how the Bourne Identity should have been, so it's a definite upgrade over Bourne Identity and over the 1080p Blu-ray for sure. Now, I noticed a couple of things which I probably never touched on before on a 4K Blu-ray, and that is there are some artifacts, right? There's some glitchy bits on the picture here and there. Nothing that's going to ruin your enjoyment of the movie, but you notice a couple of weird things here and there, like a little stutter or something. It's not my player. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's a visual upgrade bump. Does it warrant a full price purchase? Once again, no, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Wait for that shit to drop in price. On to the last one. Bourne Ultimatum. Shot in 35. Visual effects rendered in 2K. Digital intermediate, 2K. Upscaled to 4K. DTS-X master audio. All of these got DTX master audio. This movie is a much more noticeable improvement. I've noticed as these movies, Identity, Supremacy, Ultimatum, they're all an improvement of themselves, and they are all slightly more improvements of their Blu-ray counterparts. There's an uptick in detail. You notice a few more things that perhaps you didn't notice before. And what I noticed more in this is you notice a lot of reflections on building windows and on car windows and stuff. There is a nice sheen to the overall picture. One of the bad points of this movie is that it's inconsistent, right? You have some scenes which are a little soft, and then you have some scenes which are sharper. And also the visual effects are not bad. They don't stick out as much. Because I think the good thing about these movies is that a lot of their stunt work and a lot of their effects are done practically. Yeah, so that really helps a 4K transfer, because, 4K transfer is just going to upscale all the great stuff and the bad stuff. If the shit looked a bit suspect on a Blu-ray, then it's going to look 10 times more suspect on a 4K Blu-ray transfer. I don't know, I think you should wait for all of them to drop in price, apart from Jason Bourne, because that's a really good transfer. And obviously I haven't had a chance to have a look at Bourne Legacy yet, but I'm sure that's going to be an even bigger improvement than these ones. For movies that are like over 10 years old and what have you, these movies are pretty old now. For movies of that ilk, and to pay full price for them, considering the transfers aren't really all that, couldn't recommend it. You'd want to wait for them to drop half price or so. That's pretty much it. Sorry guys, I couldn't give the kind of energy. I'm tired as hell. I wanted to do it because I know there's a lot of people, I had a lot of people ask me, should I buy the box set and what have you, and my answer to that is hell no. Hell no. Not unless it drops to about 50. I can't see 4K dropping anytime soon unless something is selling very, very poorly. Bourne Supremacy and Bourne Ultimatum, they look better than their Blu-ray counterparts, for sure. If you've got a player that upscales, you're actually not that far off from what it's going to look like in 4K. For real. Aged pretty poorly. But you know what? I would imagine that that's going to happen across the board with all the older movies. There are some older movies I would pay full price for, like for instance Braveheart, because that's one of my favourite movies of all time. The Fifth Element, because I would expect it to look absolutely gorgeous in 4K, especially the HDR rate. I would expect it to look beautiful. I'm not going to hold my breath though. But that's pretty much it. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate all the new subscribers and what have you. And you guys have a fantastic weekend. Coming next, we got Suicide Squad. And I got I Am Legend in 4K. I don't know what to expect from that. I'm quite excited. So we'll see how they stack up. So, yeah, people. Thanks for all the support and everything. You guys take care, and catch you guys next time.